Yes, Patrick.
How's it going, man? You all right?
I'm very good. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, not too bad.
Mate, brilliant to have you on. What an episode tonight, right?
Yeah, man, it's wicked. It's wicked. I really enjoyed it.
Did you watch it back live as well?
Well, I was actually doing the CBBC HQ, so I couldn't quite watch it live. But
Yeah.
no, I managed to catch it afterwards. Yeah.
Brilliant job, mate. So first of all, we're just going to go through a little bit about the series and a little bit about your journey on Jamie Johnson, and then we're going to get into a little bit about your storyline and have a bit of fun to finish. Does that sound all good with you?
Sounds good to me, man.
Nice one, mate. Right, let's start. How has it been watching Series 5 back?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been wicked. It's been one of the most fun series to film. Obviously, I'm older now than I was.
Yeah.
So I'm an older and more mature actor. So yeah, it's been great.
Cool. And do you settle down every week, bang on 5 o'clock, and watch it with everyone, or do you kind of watch it back later, or what's your routine? I
think it depends because, I mean, to be fair, during lockdown, everybody's in the house, so a lot of the time we do. But
yeah.
For example, like today, if you've got something on, then just watch it later, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. And is it strange seeing yourself on TV, or are you kind of used to it now?
I mean, it's still bizarre to think that I'm in a TV program. That's just a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think that will ever go away in a way. But to be fair, I mean, 5 seasons. I've been doing this since I was like 12. So yeah, I guess I've kind of got used to it.
You're used to it, yeah. Do you get to watch the episodes before they go live on TV, or do you have to watch it like when they actually come out, or do you get to preview them?
Well, most years we'd have a screening, and so we'd get to see, different episodes and this kind of thing. But because of lockdown, obviously, that prevented that from happening, because usually it'd be going on towards sort of March, April, May time. But yeah, so it kind of stopped it this year. So it's been fresh. I've been watching everything. Most of the stuff I've been seeing has been new, really. I
think that's quite cool, because then you haven't seen it, and you get to see it all put together. You know, you obviously filmed it all, but that's actually quite cool. You get to see that like everyone else. Definitely,
yeah. It's been wicked, man.
Who is your best friend on the show in real life? Who do you hang around with off set?
Well, I think the great thing about Jamie Johnson is we're all really good mates. There's a great cast atmosphere, but I mean, me and Lewis and Johnny have been there since day one. So we're all, there's a kind of an understanding between us, because we've been there since the start, and we were all kind of thrown into this together, I suppose. Cool. Lewis having not much acting experience, me having a little bit, Johnny having quite a bit more, but we're all kind of thrown into this experience together. So, but we're all really good mates. We're mates with everybody on it. Everyone's fantastic.
That's good. One big Jamie Johnson family. What is the best thing about being a part of Jamie Johnson? Is it that sort of friendship, or are there other things that are amazing?
I think it's all good. It's the dream situation for a young actor, especially one who loves football. So I mean, it's just been brilliant. I can't say a bad thing about it, because it's just been 100% positive.
Amazing. And the last question, this little warm-up section, I just want to ask you about last week's episode, right? That free kick, how many takes did that take? Come on.
Well, I tell you what, it did take quite a few, but that's not a bad thing about me as a player. What that is that sometimes when you're on set, the pressure starts building. Turn to your left, you see Lewis is there laughing after you've missed the couple, and it just gets bad, and you go down a bit of a rabbit hole, and you just really struggling. But so I don't know exactly, but it wasn't my proudest hour. Also, when that actually eventually goes in, you must be trying to contain yourself, because you've got to carry on acting, but you're obviously buzzing because I finally did it. That celebration was genuine, man. That was properly genuine. I was well chuffed, because we could have been there all day. Couple days. Who knows how badly it could have gone. But it was, to be fair, it was a peach in the end. Nice. Yeah, it was. Top corner as well. Yeah, class. Right, let's talk a little bit about your storyline. You've been part of the biggest storyline probably maybe ever. And tonight's episode was a top tier episode. I don't know whether it's best this series or maybe ever, but it's a big storyline. So I think it's an important storyline as well that we should talk about for viewers and viewers of the show and followers of ours to talk about. Are you cool with that? That sounds good, man. Cool. So the show obviously deals with so many important issues. You obviously got mental health, you got girls in sport, in football, and being represented, and obviously now sexuality with your storyline. For anyone that hasn't watched tonight's episode yet, do you just want to give a little recap of exactly what happened in tonight's episode? Yeah, well, tonight's episode was kind of in the previous episode. Dillon had kind of discovered this thing about himself, or at least he'd spoke it for the first time. It was the first time he had acknowledged his kind of own sexuality in that way. So this episode was a continuation of that. It's about him continuing to try and get his head around it, and then of course, the curveball thrown in of his dad and the brother finding out, and you know, at a time which was unexpected, so he had to deal with that straight away rather than, you know, be able to give himself time. So it was difficult, but yeah, it's a good episode, man.
It was tense, wasn't it? It was tense.
Yeah, man.
What we've loved the most about Dillon's journey is kind of the fact that we've seen it all. So from the moment he started thinking that he might be gay to the point where tonight he could openly talk to his friends about it, and they obviously got a positive reaction. How important do you think that is to the fact that we've all seen, all the viewers have seen that full journey from the moment he started thinking about it to the moment where he's had the confidence to speak about it?
Definitely, and I think even before that, we've seen before he'd ever consider that, you know, and that's an interesting thing to see. I think to be able to have seen this lad, who I think many people, you know, there's a lot of stereotypes, aren't there? You know, like he's a macho individual and this kind of thing, and we've seen him through the series. But I think if you look back, it really does make sense, and it really is part of his character, and you know, it's an important thing that people can express themselves, you know, to do with their sexuality and be proud of themselves. Absolutely,
a very important lesson there. And in earlier episodes, Dillon obviously comes into conflict with his father a little bit about these feelings, and obviously he has to deal with those, and they're quite negative. But what do you think the lesson is there when it comes to talking to a family member? Because obviously his mum reacts positively, which is brilliant for him, but his dad doesn't. So what is the lesson there when talking to family?
I think it's a difficult one. I think it's all situational as well. But I think what Jamie Johnson shows is that, you know, if you've got some good people around you, and I think everybody does, then you can get through anything, and just reach out and speak to people who you feel you can speak to. There's always somebody you can speak to, and I think as long as you've got that, you know, you'll be fine, and you can overcome anything.
So use the support network around you, the people that you think you can confide in, and be brave and actually speak to those people.
Definitely, man, and just be honest, be open about yourself. You know.
Yeah, that was such an amazing moment when his dad was confronting him, and he kind of and Dillon just said, "Yeah, like I am." Like he finally just said it.
And I think that was important as well from the kind of character perspective of, like, that was the moment where he kind of went, "I'm in now." You know, there was no turning back. And I think if you look at him before that, there's probably chances that he wouldn't have said that to his dad or his brother for, you could talk about 6 months, a year. You know, you don't know how long it would have gone on. So in many ways, it being brought out was kind of a blessing, not a curse.
Yeah, I felt that absolute relief when he finally said, "Yes, I think I am." I was like, "Ugh!" Finally, he's brave enough to say it. One of the other things as well, what Dillon's dad has been saying, is kind of giving this negative reaction, saying that he's not going to go far in football if he is gay. That's obviously just not true, is it? So there's obviously a lot. Go on, mate.
Well, yeah. I think that's spot on. It's not true. And if you look at the Premier League, the amount of players in the Premier League, there are, you know, nobody's out. But I mean, laws of statistics, there are definitely gay players in the Premier League, and
of course.
And I think, you know, it's not prohibited them, but it would be great if we could all have open conversations about this and speak about it, because I just think it'd make the world and the world of football a better place.
Of course, and ultimately the lesson in that is that nothing can hold you back, whether it's sexuality, race, anything, right? Yeah,
for sure, man. Well, that's what the world's about. It's about seeing through these things that everybody's equal. You know what I mean? And just everybody gets the equal opportunities, and that's what's important, isn't it?
Brilliant. And on tonight's episode, Dillon finally built up the courage to actually start speaking to his friends as well. And Ruby and Elliot were obviously really positive, and their reaction was accepting, encouraging. How important is that to use? We've touched on it a little bit, but speak to your friends. And how important is it to get that positive sort of reinforcement and reaction from your friends? Does that build your confidence, do you think? Like, how important is that?
I think definitely. I think it really helped Dillon, you know, to have somebody to speak to. I mean, I don't know. It would have been a lot more difficult for him if he wouldn't have had that, you know. And I think that's where Elliot was great for him, was to speak to somebody who was already out and who he could kind of gauge an understanding of what that was like from, you know. And I think that's an important thing.
Yeah. And what was it like for you to actually play Dillon and kind of learn this role and the feelings? How was that?
It's a fantastic acting experience, man. You know, as a young actor, always looking to further myself and challenge myself. But to be fair, I've been with Dillon for a long time now.
Yeah.
I auditioned when I was 11 and I filmed when I was 12, man. So I've been here for a long time. So
you know him well.
Yeah, I know him, and I didn't feel like there was there was much of a change needed. He's still the same guy. He's just discovering this aspect of himself. And of course, as an actor, I watched kind of performances of gay characters and tried to take that kind of understanding of, when somebody, takes ownership of their sexuality. I think that's an important thing to be able to get your head around.
That's great that you watched other performances and kind of tried to take that into your own.
For sure, man. I think that's part of the job, isn't it? And
yeah.
There's so much inspiration out there to be taken from in films and in TV and in all of the arts.
What have you particularly learnt yourself from sort of Dillon's journey and what he's going through? Have you learnt something that you're going to take on board yourself as Patrick?
A lot of things, I suppose. I mean, yeah, throughout Jamie Johnson, throughout the 5 seasons, all the stuff that Dillon's gone through, I feel like I've always carried that with me. Maybe it's probably not a conscious thing, but when you play somebody, you kind of take these things on board. But I think in terms of this storyline, it's just about being proud of yourself and being honest and speaking to people around you if you've got a problem and just taking things head on. I think that's oh.
And let's not forget this episode tonight. It was obviously quite tense and it was very emotional. But ultimately, this is a really positive story. A story of like bravery, courage. The fact that he's been able to speak out to his friends, his family. It's a positive story. So, what advice would you have for anyone watching right now or watch the episode tonight to kind of do the same if they have any feelings that are the same? What advice would you give them?
I think that's spot on, and I hope it doesn't inspire those people to be proud of themselves. I suppose from an advice perspective would be to talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to people you can trust, and think about these things and develop an understanding of it. Don't hide it away, and don't try and ignore things. Be proud of yourself, because everybody should be proud of themselves for who they are. Everyone's different, aren't they? And I think that's what people need to do, man.
Such an important message. Be true to yourself, right? And this storyline has been it'll be so helpful for so many people. So big up to you for doing it and being involved in its quality. Let's move on a little bit to get some actor tips from you, if you don't mind. I want to become an actor. I want you to help me, right? But first of all, how did you even start? How did you become Dillon? How did it begin?
Well, it's an interesting one. I was an 11-year-old lad who loved football, and I'd just done a bit of acting actually at the theatre in Coventry, the Belgrade Theatre. I just played the Artful Dodger in Oliver there, and so I had that kind of experience. It was a professional production, so I was kind of like had a bit more understanding of acting. I'd always done all the school plays and this kind of thing, and then I saw like an open audition thing which said for 10 to 12-year-olds who love football and acting, and I was 11. I played football since
You was like, I'm in.
And it was just, it went from there. Turned up at the audition, 100 people there, got the recall for Dillon, and here we are.
You were buzzing. Right, amazing.
Yeah, I was.
What 3 things would you say that you need to be an actor, and why? What would you say? What are the 3 things?
Wow, that's a big question. I think, there's plenty of people out there probably more qualified to plenty of people who I'd like to ask that question from, to be fair. But I think passion, firstly, you've got to be passionate about it. You got to love what you're doing. I think, commitment, because it's really important to commit to a role. You've got to really understand. You can't be blasé with it. You can't just learn your lines the night before. I think it's about deep learning and about really becoming the character. And thirdly, I think just enjoy it as much as you can. I think that's the important thing. Make sure that it's always a positive experience, and try and make it as positive as you can. And there'll be difficult times where you feel like, oh, I'm not quite getting this scene right, or I'm not quite getting this right. You keep taking away at things, and they do come. So I think just patience as well.
Yeah. Nice. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, though? So if someone said to you at the start of your career, or maybe this series has said to you that has really helped you?
Wow, a lot of people have said a lot of things. I've worked with some fantastic people, through Jamie Johnson, and I've been acting since I can remember, to be fair, with the family, that they love that kind of thing. So, I've been getting advice for a long time. No real one that sticks with me. I'll tell you what, I remember when I first started, it was in the kind of move into TV acting. I was like, just play it, just say it how you'd say it, because I turned up after the Artful Dodger and was kind of, giving this kind of really dramatic theatre style, and they were like, just bring it down.
Yeah.
And I suppose that was an important thing. That's the kind of start. I think this series, there's been a lot of advice, man, that I've taken a lot on board, so much I I can't specifically name one thing, to be honest with you.
I like that first one though, because I think if you think about becoming an actor or an actress, you just think, I'm going to put on a voice or I'm going to be really extravagant, but you just need to just be you, because that's why you've got the job, right?
Yeah, man, you got to understand the character and try and channel him, but don't try and pretend to be the character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, no, I get that. I've never thought about it like that. How do you remember your lines, by the way? I would have big trouble doing that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, to be fair. I mean, it's different for everybody. I think that's the thing with line learning. It is different for everybody. For me, it's just about keep repeating it. And for me, it's really thinking about why you're saying this. It's about like, you know, like when you've got your line, it's about kind of checkpoints, if you know what I mean. So when somebody's speaking, you know, you think about something in your mind that links to your line. You know, it's about reaction. And I think once you've got that reaction, you can't just sit there and learn it like in binary fashion. You've got to think about it in terms of you're reacting off the other person and their lines, and then your lines feel more natural or they're easier to learn. Do
you say them to a mirror, or do you say it to someone in your family? Like, how do you?
I think over the years, both. But I do. I am a bit of a mirror actor sometimes, to be honest with you. I have tried that, and it can be effective. It can also be misleading. I think with lines, it's about drilling it into your head. And yeah, like you say, if you can find somebody to read them for you, then that's a bonus.
Nice. Right, we've learned a lot about you and the show, you in the show. Let's learn a little bit about you and what football things you like. So let's do footy favourites, all right? Let's learn. What team do you support?
Manchester United all the way. 3-0 last night. Martial hat-trick.
Buzzing with that?
Loved it.
Big Man United fan. Okay, and who's your favourite player in the world?
Rashford. I'd say Rashford, and if Pogba gets his act together over the next 6 months, you know, he could be in contention, but it's got to be Rash. I know he's not had a great start. I mean, he got 2 nice assists yesterday, but back since lockdown. But I think he's got so much talent, and I think he's gonna set the country on fire, man.
I hope so, man. And he's so decent off the pitch as well. He's been doing such important work, hasn't he?
What a man as well. I think that's an amazing thing where he's had such an influence off the pitch as well. He's a proper icon, man.
Yeah, leader. And who's your favourite manager ever, or now?
Got to be Sir Alex.
Yeah.
Sir Alex all the way, man. I can't see past that. I mean, managing now is difficult. To be honest, I wasn't especially Ollie in at the start, but, you know, he's continuing to grow on me.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to get behind that idea. But I think, it's got to be Sir Alex, man. Legend.
Okay. Proper legend. What about your favourite boot ever?
Favourite boot? Oh, that's a good question. I love the Adidas Predators, man. But
to
be fair, just some black and white leather boots.
Keep it classic.
Yeah, keep it classic. Just properly black with like a white. You know, I don't really mind about all these. I know people wear the hypervenoms and that. That's not really for me. I'll tell you what. I wore a pair of Nike Tiempos for Jamie Johnson when I was filming this year, and they were really nice, quite nice leather. So they're nice as well. Yeah.
I was going to say, what boots do you wear now? Is it Tiempo still, or have you got any others?
Well, to be fair, I've not played football properly in a while. I need to get myself some new boots. I've been waiting on it. Towards the end of before lockdown ceased, I was struggling with my boots. That I've had a couple small pairs of a couple rips and that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But you know, I don't like throwing boots out. It's just not a nice feeling, is it?
No, you've got to keep them all, because then in a few years' time, you've got
them as well. You've got to put them through some pain before you throw them out, haven't you? Realistically.
Yeah, you've got to keep them for the memories. I've got so many that are just sitting there that I don't touch anymore. Just the memories.
Yeah.
What about your favourite ever stadium? I think I know what you might say here, but
well, it's got to be the Etihad. No, I'm joking.
You threw me there.
I'm joking. I was filming near the Etihad the other week, and it is nowhere near as good as Old Trafford. So
I thought you were about to say it's amazing, but nowhere near.
Never. Yeah. OT all the way, man.
Okay. And who's your favourite team to be on FIFA if you play it?
I do play FIFA. I play mostly Ultimate Team. I think I like Real Madrid. You know, I know most people go Barca, but I do like Real. And to be fair, United. You know, I know I hate to reply to every question with United, but Pogba's pretty sick. Rashford, Martial. I think.
Plus, don't you think you play a bit harder when you're the team you support? Because you're like, I need to win.
Yeah. You got to like get the boys that you want scoring goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring Sancho into that set as well. Yeah, we're going to have a proper team.
If you get in. What about your favourite competition? Is it Prem, World Cup, Champions League? Like, what's your favourite competition? What do you love?
Premier League, man. I love the Premier I think it's fantastic, and obviously, you know, the FA Cup's brilliant as well, and Champions League. I'd love to say Champions League. I haven't had too many experiences as a United fan with that over the last couple of years. I mean, I started properly getting into United, like really watching every game and all that kind of thing. I'd always been a fan, but when it was David Moyes' season.
Wow, what a time!
Yeah, I've not really been invested in a Champions League run for a while, so I'm looking forward to that next year.
Nice. What about your favourite type of goal?
Oh, that's a good question. See, I mean, you can't help but love a dink. You know what I mean?
Dink, yeah.
Oh, dink's lovely. You know, where you fake like you're going to properly belt it and then just a tortured finish. But to be fair, I love scoring with my left. I always feel like when you score with your weak foot, it's just such a wicked feeling, because especially if it's a nice little finish. So I'd say, yeah, probably just left foot goals, any type of goal.
I do like dink though, because you sit the keeper down and they're sitting there and you're like, yeah, decent.
Yeah, true.
You know.
Trusted, man. I'll tell you what, nothing better if you catch the ball properly with your head and it flies in.
True, yeah.
You feel pretty hard after that, to be fair. So
okay, so headers, weak foot, and dinks.
Boom. That's the three. Yeah.
What about your favourite wonder kid? Is there a young player that you love to watch?
Definitely, by far, Greenwood. Man. I'm telling you, Ballon d'Or winner in the future.
You've called it.
I've been crying out for him to be starting games for United for a long time, and he's absolutely mustard. Both footed, quality, man.
He's a good player. He started last night, didn't he?
He did well, but Martial stole the headlines. So,
yeah, I'm sure he'll get his time. What's your favourite pre-match meal before you play a match? What do you like to eat?
I don't really like to eat before a match, to be fair. I happened to interview this nutritionist for the Premier League a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about this kind of thing, and he was saying some people genuinely don't eat before matches, and because I always used to get stick from it from everyone being like, you got to eat banana or something, but some people don't. So yeah, but I think half a banana and just plenty of fluids for me, just to keep me light and buzzing. You know, that's what I want.
That's your secret recipe. That's what gets you free kicks in the top corner, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What about your favourite, greatest of all time player? So Messi or Ronaldo? They're obviously probably the two best ever, but who is your favourite out of those two?
See, this question, man, I've thought about it a lot over the years. I've mostly been in the Ronaldo camp, to be fair.
Really? Yeah.
But I just think they're both amazing. The more you watch both of them, I think they're equal. But if I had to say one, United fan, it's got to be Ronaldo.
I thought you might. Next question. What is your favourite ever Jamie Johnson cameo? There's obviously been a lot.
Well, to be fair, there has. I mean, I got to meet the Beast, Akinfenwa, which was great. And he was a great guy. And Lewis, I mean, some of the geezers Lewis has met. Luis Suarez, Rashford, unbelievable.
Big boys, yeah.
Stevie G, he's met some names. So
amazing.
I think Rashford, because as well of what's happened recently, the fact we managed to get that a couple of years ago, that's a really cool thing that we can look back on.
Yeah, especially as a Man United fan and your favourite player. Last question. What is your favourite ever Jamie Johnson episode?
Oh, it's got to be the one that was on tonight, man. That's got to be. I'll tell you what. I'll have to say that. But other contenders, the Gothia Cup, just any of that was mustard. And and to be fair, let me have a little think. I think the last episode of season 1, because I remember that was like the first time that I was like on, and then it was like a big climax. So that's got to be up there as well.
Tonight's a good pick though as well, because you obviously put so much into like tonight's episode, and there's a lot of emotion. So I understand why you would have said tonight's.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Patrick, you've been a ledge, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been wicked.
Really appreciate it. Some really important lessons. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man, and we'll speak again soon, yeah?
Cheers. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, mate. Speak soon.
Bye.
So there we go. Patrick Ward from Jamie Johnson, a.k.a. Dillon, with some really inspiring lessons there, speaking about embracing who you are, being brave, and knowing that nothing can hold you back, despite your feelings, despite your race, your sexuality. Be who you want to be, and you can go far. We cannot wait for next week's episode of Jamie Johnson, just like you probably can't either. If you want more Match of the Day Mad content, this week's issue is a 50 shock transfer rumours special. There's lots of rumours in. There's match tags, there's posters, boot drops, the lot. Get involved. Thank you to all the viewers who have tuned in today, and we'll see you next time for another MOTD Mag Live. See you soon.